son or daughter's in martial arts classes, and they're a wee lad or lass, and they're sparring, and it makes you feel a way. It's understandable, but let's talk about it. Matt Thompson, raising a warrior. Okay, so sparring. I believe in it. I think it's a great thing. I think without it, martial arts training is a little silly. You're just doing dancing. But yeah, you know, things like with the kids, 3 and 4 years old, is sparring a good idea? Or maybe even 5 to 7. Okay, let's break it up. So physically, we talk about sparring, real little kids. If it's, you know, little kids doing light contact, you'll sometimes see the YouTube videos of little, tiny little Korean kids doing taekwondo. Like, they have the hogu on, looks like a giant pillow, and they kick, they barely get their leg up there because the hogu's interfering. And it's adorable, and it's cute, and it's silly, and it makes all the armchair martial arts guys grumpy. That's fine. That's not real.
You're not real.
No, it's little kids doing their best. But in that case, I would say no. That's taught in a way that, you know, they're all padded up. Kids aren't generating a lot of power, not doing a lot of damage. It's like tag. Then you get, you know, maybe at 5, and they start to be able to generate some power. Maybe they're working with kids like at 8, and they're 5. I know we had a kid one time. His father was a PhD in was it theoretical mathematics and computer stuff, and his kid was a brainiac. He was 5, and he was in my my intermediate taekwondo program, and so there we do head contact for their kicks, and the dad's like, no, not my kid. So what we did there was we gave him, you know, a helmet, and then he never did head contact. We just made that adjustment. Everybody got it. He was a tiny little dude, great kid. But so physically, the head contact's the biggest thing. If they get a couple hits, I mean, let's face it, especially, you know, my son is an all-terrain human. He's climbing on everything, he's rolling around in the mud. He gets hurt just being that. So, you know, little cuts and bumps and bruises. I don't worry too much about that. Head stuff, yeah. So, no head contact. I think that's fair. But that's not the bigger issue. The bigger issue is sparring inwardly. There's comparison. And a little kid doesn't deal with that the way an older kid would deal with it. They really internalize it. They feel that comparison, you know, this kid is good at this and blah, 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 and you are not those things, and those are things that we value. That's a lot of pressure for a little tyke. So I think, are they too young for sparring? Well, it depends on how you're doing sparring. If you're talking about like the big, mean, you know, clang and bang, I don't want to mention a style, you know, because I know Muay Thai people who spar light and gentle and fun, and then when they get ready for a match, then they start to amp it up a little bit, but they get a lot from that gentle, kind of playful tag. They learn a lot. They get real good. You know, in that case, it's the culture that I think matters most. If the culture is one for a little kid that psychologically isn't going to traumatize them,
Fight against the sadness vortex!
Comparisons and feelings of inadequacy, then yeah, I think that that's great. If it's a very highly competitive environment, I think making sure they have great fundamentals, like what's their footwork like? Are their strikes clean, fast? Are they getting like nice pivots on the kicks that require all that stuff? Spend more time there. And then it's not sparring, but it'll be like pad work and getting them ducking and moving. It's much more important if they're going to be sparring in an environment that's much more competitive. If you keep those things in mind, then I think you'll be fine. And you just go with the culture of the place and, you know, the personality and temperament of the kid. If you keep all those things in mind, I think you're going to have a kid that's going to enjoy sparring, see the value in it, see that they're really just playing a game. It's not a reflection of who they are as a human being and their value. If they understand that, either way, you'll do a great job raising a warrior.